Alright, so I watched my first video and I felt there were some things I kind of breezed past too fast, and I also had some questions from friends. So I wanted to clarify a few things instead of doing my second video on minimum wage. So I'll actually make that my third video, and I will clarify some of the things from my first video right now. I made a list, a little short list. It's not bad, but I tend to ramble when it comes to these things. So the first on my list is when I said gold is directly related to our dollar, which it is. But that doesn't mean when gold goes up, dollar goes up, which is maybe what some people thought. What I meant was the opposite. When the dollar goes down, gold goes up because it takes more dollars to buy gold. It's the same concept as anything else. It takes more dollars when our dollar goes down to buy anything. So what gold is, gold and silver, they're just basically a store of wealth, a store of value. So if you believe in inflation coming, it would be a good idea to own gold and silver because those things are going to go up, because that means our dollar lost value. If you think in other words, if you think prices are going to go up, which has been the cycle for our lifetime. If you think deflation is going to set in, then it wouldn't be a good idea to own commodities like gold and silver. Instead, it would be good just to hold on to your dollars. There is a chance of deflation. I'm not saying there isn't, but I can't envision a scenario in which the deflation is permanent. It would be temporary, because even if the Fed cut spending like they say they are after the third quarter, the quantitative easing ends, even if they stop printing, they will see the consequences of what they've done for all these years. They'll see banks fail and things like that. You don't want to be in office when things like that happen. They just keep pushing it to the next official, the next guy. So I don't see them just standing idly by while things fail. They're going to feel the need to prop them up and do something, and then boom, right back into inflation. Your gold goes up, your dollar loses value. I don't see them sticking to their guns, which is unfortunate because it needs to happen. And the longer we wait, the worse it's going to be. No matter what we do, though, it's going to be bad. Say we do the opposite. We just hold off. We just keep printing. We go to QE3, QE4, QE5, QE6, which is perfectly possible, and actually pretty likely that they're going to at least do QE3, QE4, I would say. But yeah, there's possibility 5, 6. So let's say they do that, and they just keep going, keep spending recklessly. What happens is we'll be forced into austerity measures. We'll be forced. Things will hyperinflate at that time because we never stopped. We just kept pushing it off. And hyperinflation would entail that, what I said before, about the loaf of bread costing $1 million. I mean, there's no way to gauge exactly how much it would cost. You don't know how large a scale the hyperinflation will be. It could cost $100, it could cost $1,000. You never know. But there is a country that has done that just kept ignoring the austerity measures that they needed, and that was Zimbabwe. What they did is they hyperinflated their currency, and they ended up printing. People actually walking down the street with bills that said $100 trillion. And a sandwich costs between $2 and $10 million just for a sandwich. So that's hyperinflation. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to get that bad, but it will be terrible. Or you can't really picture how bad it would be. It's not worth talking about because it's beyond our comprehension. We've never seen anything like hyperinflation. So it's one of two things. Either we stop spending, stop printing, or eventually we hit hyperinflation. So we gotta stop sometime. I mean, it's gonna be painful, but we gotta do it. Also, I was watching. Look at my notes. I have 2 more things. Well, yeah, 2 more things. This one is about watching things on MSNBC or CNBC. I don't know. And they like to compare. I believe CNBC because they have that fast money. So they like to compare our currency, the U.S. dollar, to other flawed currency like the euro or the British pound. I mean, it's not a true gauge. We need to compare it to gold and silver because nothing's happening to that. There's a lot of things happening with the euro and the pound that are not good. So it's like comparing, shit and puke and saying which one smells worse. Comparing our dollar to the British pound doesn't make sense, So we need to stop buying into that. Like when our dollar goes up versus the euro for one day, I mean, it's not really accomplishing much. It needs to go up via gold, and it needs to continue, which means we have finally stopped printing. But that isn't happening. It's not continuing. It's just a really volatile market. Last thing I actually have a clip, an audio clip. I found this guy, Stephen Israel. He's the chairman of the Democratic Congressional Committee, or Campaign Committee, sorry. He was on MSNBC and talking about gas prices. So the last part might be a little interesting for you guys. He was talking about gas prices, and I want you to listen to his first solution for lower gas prices.
Is there anything Congress can do to lower fuel prices?
Yeah, there's lots of things we can do. We can start by eliminating the $4 billion subsidy that big oil companies get.
You know what they say, Congressman? They say that will not affect the price of gas.
Well, of course they're going to say that. They're getting the subsidies.
So, if we increase, well, he says subsidies, but they're actually taxes. But if we use his word, okay, fine. We increase subsidies. Or we cut them off. Which basically, well, I'm not going to say basically, it does increase the cost of doing business. It's just an extra tax for the oil companies. If we increase taxes on them, that somehow our prices will drop at the pump. That's what he's saying here. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. His logic is, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Under his logic, then we should just increase taxes on farmers and supermarkets, and our price of goods or price of groceries will be cheaper. We should increase taxes on airlines, and our airline tickets will be cheaper. We should increase taxes on universities and teachers. Then our education would be cheaper. We should increase taxes on hospitals, nurses, and doctors, and our healthcare would be cheaper. So obviously he knows nothing about economics. He uses, after what I played, after I cut it off, he uses a bunch of rhetoric too. It's just class warfare stuff. He doesn't know what he's talking about. This is all talking points. He's trying to get people against. He's using rhetoric like, well, the rich oil executives don't need any more money. It's like, well, we kind of do. So how about we keep their breaks or keep their taxes as low as possible, because they don't swallow those taxes. They give them to us. We pay for them. They don't just swallow our expenses and our regulations. You have to be a complete and utter idiot to think that. I can't believe this guy even has a voice on the topic. It's frustrating. The only way that we can see true gas prices to go down is what we're seeing right now. We have to increase the supply of gas faster than we increase the supply of dollars, money. So that's the only way. What we're seeing now is, I read this on the Huffington Post, actually, believe it or not, because I was confused. I'm like, oh, where did we get the extra supply of oil that our prices are dropping like this? I mean, I was happy, heck yeah. But it turns out there was many refineries that weren't in operation, and they are now back in operation in America. There was a lot of different things. Let's see. They're planning to boost production after a series of unplanned shutdowns stemming from power outages and other problems. So we had to increase supply, and that accounted for a kickback in the prices. So that's good. The only thing is that now we're going to be at our maximum potential. So eventually the dollar's going to catch up. I mean, for a little while here, we should be seeing some drops, maybe 30-cent drops or what have you. I don't know. And we should be happy about that, but eventually the dollar is just going to catch up because we just keep printing. So right back to where we were, and people are going to be saying, "Oh man, I thought we were over this. I thought the summer was supposed to be bad," but it turns out it's going to get worse because we're not drilling anymore. We just opened some refineries. So I just wanted to explain that too, that the supply of oil needs to increase faster than our supply of dollars in order for gas prices to go down. So that's explaining the temporary boost, or the temporary drop back in gas prices. And I'm running out of time, guys, so I'll see you next video for minimum wage laws. Thanks for watching.